Resident Evil 6 almost killed the franchise is the biggest myth in gaming. Without having to defend 6 or anything, Capcom was never on the verge of canceling their flagship franchise. They give Resident Evil more attention than pretty much any of their other flagship franchises. For example, the time between Resident Evil 6 and 7... The time between these two releases, they not only released 2 more games, but they also re-released Resident Evil 1 HD, which those of you who don't realize how big of a deal this is, Resident Evil 1 Remake was exclusive to the GameCube from 2002 all the way to 2015. So for over 10 years, if you wanted to play this game, you would have had to get a GameCube for it. Likewise with Resident Evil 0. And when they did re-release Resident Evil 1 onto all the major platforms, it broke all of Capcom's digital sales records. It became their fastest selling digital download game. This was in 2015. Personally, if you ask me, Resident Evil 1 HD is actually what saved the franchise in my opinion, because it was after this game released and broke Capcom sales records was when they immediately announced that they were going to remake Resident Evil 2 back in 2015. And I think Resident Evil 2 Remake is what really put Resident Evil back on the map in my opinion. On top of that too, we also saw the re-release of 4, 5, and 6 on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One and Switch. And honestly, these versions of the game were actually better than the launch titles, and to be honest with you, these versions of the game are the only reason I actually kind of like Resident Evil 6 now. This is mostly due to the fact that they fixed the really horrendous frame rate issues Resident Evil 6 was notorious for having, along with like graphic screen tearing and other random bugs that plagued the game on release. So, trust me, just because they refocused their agenda for the plan for the franchise, 6 did not almost kill one of Capcom's biggest franchises, probably Capcom's biggest franchise now. So can we please stop this rumor that 7 saved the series, because it never needed to be saved. 7 is a good game, don't get me wrong, but Resident Evil never needed saving. It's always been a solid franchise with solid backing. So when you try to say that Resident Evil almost died, I personally, as someone that was playing the games through this entire era and much longer before that, it really was far from it. You can't look at record high sales numbers, still pretty frequent releases and re-releases, and really say to yourself, yeah, this was a franchise that they were going to kill because of this one singular game. And then also, the rumor that 7 saved it, also, again, it is not true. And nothing against Resident Evil 7, it didn't need to be saved. It's doing fine, but it is what it is.